Take your best shot.
Take a moment, people.
Bill, think about this when we're all eating loose stew tonight.
Nothing like a win with a good team.
something unnatural here.
Is that all you got?
Seek!
Behind you! On foot! On your right!
Seek!
Everyone okay?
Envoy? What are you... You're full of surprises. I was expecting someone else, but I think this could work out better for both of us. I'd prefer savior if we're handing out epithets. Once you hear my side, Envoy, I think you'll agree I was only trying to help. Unfortunately, I didn't want to, but he forced my hand. I thought I was clever, skimming a little extra pay from the coffers, surveying the city's weaknesses, laying caches for my friends. But it was like Monato had eyes in the back of his head. Nothing got by him. I tried to explain, but he couldn't understand. Wouldn't. He'd completely closed his ears to reason.
So you killed him for it?
Poor bastard was always too principled for his own good.
About time.
Nice shot!
That it?
I sincerely hope you have some good news for me. My gods, I can't believe this.
Helia's wings uplift us.
She's been with the Rangers since she was a girl. She trained most of my men.
This is... Fotito. This is big, Asielno.
What happened to her? Where is she now? Without the trial? Good gods.
Frontier justice. That's what a traitor deserves.
Masoni, please. Where's her body now, Envoy?
I'll send a few of the senior rangers out to find her.
Thank you, Masso. What a nightmare. I don't know what I'm going to tell my men. A traitor in the Rangers. This situation beggars belief. Do you know why she did it?
Be serious, Envoy.
She was always talking about how we needed strength. Do you remember, Masso? More swords, more coin. And she complained that animancy wouldn't fix our problems. But I didn't think she had so little faith in Fior.
No one took her seriously.
Evidently, she was quite serious about it. I didn't want to believe it could be her. Gods beyond, what a mess. Thank you, Envoy. Ranger Monato has been properly avenged, and now I have a lot of work to do to rebuild my squad. Agreed. I need to be more careful with who I trust in the future. Here's your reward. It's the least we can do for your assistance. Thank you again. Step carefully out there. We are living through strange times.
I hope this at least lets them clean up their ranks.
Even if we want to stop them,
Ado,
we may not be able to.
Welcome back. Care to take a look around?
You'll catch more flies with honey.
Are the adherents the flies here?
You know what I mean.
I do. Now go make yourself useful.
For an adherent, you're very resourceful, and a more than capable companion for poor Giada. With any luck, I can tell you a great deal. Now that I've got a heart, my thirsty invention will drink deeply of its essence. All that's left to do is calibrate it. First things first, let's have a look at your soul. I'm going to ask some questions to induce a metaphysical quiver. No, not to worry, just testing your reflexes. Let's start with an easy one. You wake up on a beach, looking up into the sun. Your hands are covered in blood. It's less of a question and more of a stimulus. As long as you're honest, there's no wrong answer. let's try some word association. Tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Pendulum. Chrysalis.
A spark ignites a flame. An idea ignites a war.
Hello? You still with me? In that case, let's stop it before I do any lasting damage. Hey, let's go over your results. Your soul is like a piece of sea glass. All the edges are smoothed down. Quite beautiful, really. Your godlike nature is a marvel to behold. Usually, all it takes is a mirror. Not my area of expertise, I'm afraid. What I see is something entangled about your soul. An outside presence that both is and isn't a part of you. It's old, dark, and rather tricky to pin down. Very interesting. Nothing harmful, at least not yet. Fascinating. Thank you for getting my machine calibrated again. But you came for Giata's theory of the dream scourge. Between the two of us, she's on to something. Our farms are in great peril. The essence has been drained from the land, diverted, like the flow of a river. And risk joining her in exile? No. Without this workshop, we have nothing. Regardless, essence doesn't just disappear. It must be going somewhere. All I can tell you is keep looking. You'll find what you're after. As much as I hate giving people bad news, that's all I have. Please give Giata my fondest regards.
Keep looking, huh? I'm getting a bad feeling about what we'll find.
Yeah, I'll be honest. He lost me when he started talking about souls. What did I miss?
Please tell me you found them.
Your rangers lost to the Dream Scourge. Nothing we could do.
The Dream Scourge. Here. Tell me you're joking. I don't believe it. I never thought he'd sink that low. Scoffing at the Dream Scourge while it sleeps in his own house? I'm sorry. That's none of your concern. I'll deal with it myself. What about my rangers? Are they even still alive? Merla, when she turns, Fjord will panic. Where is she now? I don't know what to do. I can't hurt her, but I can't put Fjord at risk. That won't do any good. Do you think poking around and severing her soul will save her life? Even so, if it's early days and Vidaro doesn't find out... Alright. It goes against all my instincts, but we'll try it. Once. Here. You went to a lot of trouble. You ought to be paid for it. It's time for me to get out of here and actually do my job. I never thought... I just hope we're not making a mistake.
I have a lot of packing ahead of me, but I've earned a short rest. Good timing. I'm about ready to get started. So, did you learn anything of particular interest? Makes sense. You won't find a better source of energy. Look at us. Barely even started, and already we're making progress. Monto's machine is working, Elia will keep an eye on her revenants, and Yvette and Remy are providing us an alibi. And every bit of it was critical to our research. I needed those animancers for more than their expertise. Monto's invention nullifies spiritual interference. Having it up and running means we won't get any false signals. Whenever I tap into an Adra pillar, Elia's farmhands tend to get a little bitey. Thanks to you, they won't be a problem. And then there's Yvette and Remy, the governor's eyes and ears. In exchange for privacy, I gave them a test subject. I'd call that a good day's work. Animancy takes a lot of preparation. You might only have one chance to run through an experiment. Now we just need the right equipment for the job. When my parents died, they left me their life's work. An invention like no other. The phantasmal focus. Exactly. There are many ways of going about it, but my mother's invention will get us quick results. The problem is it's in the basement. I haven't gone down there since the accident. Since they died.
I can't blame you for avoiding a place like that.
I would get it myself, but I'm not ready to face what's down there. Right now, I would rather focus on the work ahead of us. The door to the basement is just outside, around the corner. Of course, you'll need a key. Please excuse the mess.
If that's where her parents died, I'm glad we can spare her from having to go back.
Okay, walking into the basement of an animancer I just met. Right, feels great.
What can I serve you? Ah, a pleasure to share your company again, traveler.
And all godlike. I've heard whispers that one of your kind was here in the living lands. It is a pleasure to meet you. In case it wasn't clear, I'm the point of contact for anyone with bounties to turn in. So return to me if you have any to claim. Diverus? You work fast. If only we could find a way to coexist with them. But I suppose it is in their nature to oppose innovation. Huh? Nature? From the depths of my soul, I thank you. May their poor souls find peace in their rest. Good. Outlaws living off the hard work of others deserve nothing less. I see. Then the other bounty hunters did not fare so well. I am glad at least to know of their fate. Perfecto. Return when you have more to claim.
Price is a bit steep. Your soul knows.
You return. Have you visited all 3 grave sites? You fought them? Oh, the spirit's anguish must be driving them mad, the poor dears. I believe the influence of the recently dead could drive these poor souls to rage and violence. Be gentle with them, please. I don't believe they mean you true malice. They are minnows caught in the spiritual tide. Thank you for helping the dead to rest, my friend. You have done Fiora a great service.
And wasted perfectly good food in the process.
Now, will you stand and pray with me? I believe that prevention is better than treating symptoms. By pleasing the dead, we remove their desire to harm the living. You have done Fiora a great service today. It may not solve all our problems, but it will make things better here. Please, take this token of Bareth's favor. May it keep you from her path for just a moment longer. May the usher find you quickly, Aimika, and ferry you gently to the next life.
Clean out your soul with Honest Emil's healing crystals.
If only we had these in the tusks.
I only carry the freshest herbs, my...
What'll it be? If you fancy a drink, we have plenty in store.
Don't know what I expected, but this isn't it.
Haven from the blight. Who grows here?
feel pretty certain that those people aren't supposed to be plants.
What?
Gods. We can leave now, right?
Poor Giada. To think she's been living with this right under her nose.
I don't. Anyone know what happened back there?
I think those were Giada's parents, or whatever's left of them.
So they're dead?
Or something like that.
Gods. I can't believe this.
You're back. You found it. You actually found my inheritance. Did you see my mother and father? Are they still there? I didn't have the words. All that's really down there is an unhappy memory. One that keeps on growing. Quilici thought so too. Even Ignacy offered to lend a hand, but I forbade it. My mother had an idea about how to use the essence of the living lands, and it destroyed her. My father, our family.
People are too quick to risk everything for an ideal. I'm sorry it didn't work out for your family.
So I swore an oath. No one could enter the lab until I understood what happened. I'm on the right track to figuring it out, which is almost as good. Enough about me. Let's worry about you for a change. With the phantasmal focus, I can finally tap directly into the essence of the living lands. I can also use it to smack around anyone who gets in our way. Don't worry. It's more durable than it looks. Kind of like me. The only thing we're missing now is an Adra pillar, and I know the perfect one. Naku Tedek, the old godless ruin west of Fjord. There should be some equipment waiting for us. We used it to study the Adra pillar. Then some priests moved in and took offense at our work. I hope they haven't tampered with the equipment, or this will be a very short experiment. That rugged thing? It's as dry as a bone. Hardly any essence left. Even if it wasn't, I'm not exactly welcome in the workshop these days. Naku Tedek is special. I used to play there as a child and take rubbings of the memorial plaques. Historians think it may have once been a burial ground, a place where souls can return to the earth. So, we kept the tradition alive. Many of our founders are buried there, though not all of them, as you discovered. Well, that covers everything. Let's go. The Dream Scourge can't hide for long. Before we head out, let's make the most of our time in Fjord. No telling how long we'll be gone. And I hate to be a problem, but I do my best work in small groups. Chalk it up to performance anxiety.
Sounds good. I need to do some hunting anyway.
Once we're all together, we should trade ghost stories. Best way to get acquainted. In the meantime, let's be off. I hope no one minds. I made my... myself at home.
Don't mind at all. It's good to have you. Tell us a bit about yourself, Giada.
Let's see. A few things about me. I enjoy long conversations, and my favorite season is autumn. Apparently, I also snore, which annoys some people.
So do I. Glad it won't just be me now. We should pitch our tents on either side of Marius. The drone really helps him sleep.
Right, that's me. And the first rule of camp is never listen to Kai. He's a blessed Nimdude of the highest order.
If anyone needs their soul tinkered on, don't hesitate to ask. I'm rather good with souls.
I'll take your word for it.
Envoy? Hard to imagine what Giada's going through right now, with her parents and all that. I mean, I have no idea what actually happened there, but she lost her people. She'll need time to get past that. And she deserves it. Right, changing the subject. Right, I'm sure you'll find it absolutely gripping. Go ahead, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Giada's a mystery to me. Animancers give me the Vrikas, and for good reason. Most of them would just as soon turn your soul into jewelry as look at you. Giada seems different. She's smart, thoughtful, and she's got a spine, too. You can tell when someone needs extra help out here, and she doesn't. So, yeah, I don't understand her, but I guess I don't have to, really. Thanks for talking.
I still can't believe it. Dorso was betraying her brothers-in-arms all in the name of saving Emerald Stair. At least she got what was coming to her. I agree. It's just sobering to think she got to the point where murdering her own felt right. How do you keep yourself on the right path? Especially when there's so much at stake. Maybe. But I've seen better soldiers than Dorso cross lines you can't come back from. I saw this in Rauatai's campaign in the Deadfire. You start out with purpose. You're fighting alongside your brothers and sisters, battling pirates and slavers, bringing civilization to a lawless, divided land. But then, you're breaking up villages, turning tribes against their rivals. It gets messy, fast. Empires are hungry, Envoy, and they devour their own, too. Don't let your allegiances turn you into something you can't live with. And troubling. What was it she said? The Steel Garrote will ensure the safety of Adiran interests? A big if. You can let them do the rowing, but you're still gonna get hit with the spray.
Kai means that no matter what they do, your reputation will take a hit. Though, he could have just said that.
I'd like to be wrong, believe me. But in my experience, a volatile ally is more dangerous than any enemy. Not a whole lot, and I've been happy keeping it that way. Playing around with essence, poking at souls, trying to move them out of and into places they shouldn't be, it makes me queasy. Though, if we're going to understand the Dream Scourge and your godlike lineage, I suppose we'll have to get comfortable with it. Still, I'm happy to leave those pursuits to other people.
Exactly. Other people. People who are a safe distance away. No offense.
You have your point of view, and I have mine.
Not the same way adherents do. We've got no laws against it. I've just always felt more comfortable with things I can see and grasp for myself. Don't get me wrong, most animancers are nice enough people. But even nice people get strange ideas from time to time. Good thing you're asking the expert. You're asking me? I'm not much of a gossip. Okay, who do you want to know about? She's got a lot of heart, and she's loyal to her people and their principles, even when it costs her. Giada's lost her home but kept her resolve. It takes a special kind of person to weather what she has and emerge stronger for it. She'll have a lot to figure out after all this, but she's gonna be okay. I noticed that too. It says a lot. I can't say what I'd want the future of animancy to look like, but there's no one I'd trust more than Giada to figure it out. Sure. Check your bedroll for fangworms.
Thank you again for letting me join you. An animancer never misses an opportunity to embrace the unknown. Still, being an animancer feels different without Fior Messiverno. For the first time, I don't have to prove myself to anyone. It'll take some getting used to, that's for sure. At least now I have a place I can call my own. Good, because I have a lot of research to do, and this could take a while. Not to change the topic, but this little adventure of ours, will it be dangerous? Oh, I never expected to live forever. My mother and father taught me how to defend myself, among other things. When you need me, I'll be ready. I hope so anyway. What's on your mind? Ah, you want a story? Very well. Settle in. It all started about 50 years ago in the great city of Spirento. A young nobleman by the name of Maxim Vidaro sought to inherit a distinguished government position. Unfortunately, yes. A distant cousin cheated Maxim out of the title. He was devastated, his political future uncertain. No one lifted a finger to help. Not the banks, not the merchants, or the politicians. So, Maxim did what Valians do best. Not exactly, but close. Maxim plotted his revenge. They say he prayed to Scan, the effigy, god of rebellion and defiance, to ask for a blessing. And Scan answered. Take their best and brightest, their heirs, their scholars, their futures, to the far side of the world, never to return. And Maxim did just that. He gathered a following and left the Valian republics, giving thanks to his dark god. Most of my stories are. Spirento was full of animancers, many of them in debt, and Maxim was a wealthy patron. They needed each other. So the animancers followed Maxim all the way out here, including my parents, Quilici, and others around town. At the time, this place was an animancer's dream. No oversight, limited government, and soil rich with essence. 40 years later, Maxim vanished. They say the effigy came to collect his soul. Nonsense, of course. His son has been in charge ever since. For better or worse. I have good reason to be critical, but I also know his life isn't as easy as it looks. He and I might squabble in public from time to time, but we're both just figuring it all out as we go. Thanks for listening. We should do this again.
I love a good ghost story. Just not the dreams I have afterwards.
Hadn't heard all that before. Probably a lesson or two in there.
One of these days you'll have to tell me an Adiran ghost story. You learn a lot about people by what scares them. Let me think. Quilici has a girlfriend, as cute as a button, and as smart as an archmage. That isn't a secret, I'm just happy for him. Have you heard of the incident at Beldereno Pass? 20 settlers lost their lives in a winter storm. Ever since, people have heard ghostly cries from a nearby cave. Fascinating, isn't it? Tragic, of course, but fascinating. Of course. Anything in particular? What are you so curious about? Anyone in particular? I warn you, I'm not the best judge of first impressions. Kai is a useful fellow. We need people like him to keep you grounded. Just not too grounded. On the surface, Kai is all charm and confidence. You feel good knowing he's around. But there's something deeper. Something in his core that he guards from everyone. Maybe even himself. Oh, not at all. Kai is a sweetheart. And if that's who he chooses to show us, then that's who he is. If there's another side to him, he'll show us when he's good and ready. No need to rush a natural process. Marius is working through something. An old wound that hasn't healed. A search for forgiveness? Who knows? He's a tough fellow, but I wouldn't put too much pressure on him. We're all wounded. That's the price of survival in the living lands. Just look at you. Only just got here and you died in the line of duty. You may not be from the living lands, but the island left you a scar to remember. Now, you're just like us. We haven't been together long, but I think I have you figured out. In Paradise, you killed your killer. Some would call that justice. Others would call it vengeance. But who am I to judge? In your shoes, I might have done the same. Pior Messiverno tolerates you well enough. No doubt thanks to my influence. Of course, all I know is what you've done. You may not think these choices reflect who you are. At the end of the day, you shouldn't care what anyone thinks. All that matters is how you see yourself. I've spilled all the gossip I know. Ask me again when there's a new face in camp. I suppose you deserve to know, after what I put you through. My mother wanted to expand Fjord's agriculture. Feeding Emerald Stair wasn't ambitious enough. She wanted to feed the world. She thought she could break the wilderness, using animancy as the whip. Turn the living lands into a garden. Yes, as something always does. After my father put the finishing touches on the phantasmal focus, she was impatient to get started. After all, whoever controls the spirit of the living lands has nature in the palm of their hand. Indeed, a world run by animancy. Emerald Stair was just the beginning to her. My father thought she was brilliant. Others thought she was mad. I think she was a victim of her own ambition. She wanted so much and there was so little time to achieve it. Theoretically, her plan should have worked. But the living lands had other ideas. When she used the phantasmal focus, theory collided with reality. Everything went wrong. No. To my knowledge, the accident was no everyday occurrence. But neither was the experiment. My mother transgressed on nature, on existence itself. Still, I don't understand what went wrong. When I do, then I can finish her work. I can't rule anything out, but I suspect the Dream Scourge had something to do with it. It lives in the essence of the living lands, corrupting whatever it touches. And if I'm right, that means it's been here a long time, or the forces behind it. I was 17. That makes it... Gods, has it been 13 years already? After they died, I wouldn't go near a lab. It was ages before Quilici got me to crack open a book. I have a lot of catching up to do in my studies. Need to make up for lost time. My mother and father didn't know the risks, and I can't stop thinking about them. Caution and experience will stop us from repeating their mistakes. That's all I care to say for now. At least, about this topic. I thought my family's research could help Emerald Stair. That it could banish the Dream Scourge from our lands. Of course, Vidaro wouldn't even give me a chance. He was afraid of history repeating itself. Still, I'm hopeful. This legacy of mine could change animancy as we know it. And something tells me I'm close to a breakthrough. Closer than my mother ever got. Good question. The idea of finishing my parents' work gives me a warm feeling. But do I want it? I know I've got one lifetime, and I want to do something with it. Very good. You know your metaphysics. This is the one life where I am Giada Castel, Animancer extraordinaire. In the next life, I could be an idiotic tree. I have an obligation to use the time I have. No Animancer has engineered an ecosystem before. Maybe, with a little luck, I could be the first. That little island off of Donshore? None that I know of. Ignato Casto led the Valian trading company in the Deadfire archipelago. Among other things, he invested in the future of animancy, and apparently he had interests here. I hope not. I wouldn't want my family associated with speculation, corruption, and whatever else happened in the Deadfire. We have enough problems already. He had some ideas about moving great distances in the blink of an eye. As far as I know, he was unsuccessful. Animancy and ambition are a dangerous mixture. Intoxicating, but dangerous. Afraid not. I've heard a lot of contradictory stories coming out of the Deadfire in recent years. Some say Castle is still in power, while others think his second-in-command took over the Valian Trading Company. You know how it is. Wherever there's conflict, there's bound to be misinformation. Unfortunately, that's all I know. Whether or not Castle succeeded, I don't think it's folly to dream. Now that you mention it, I did try and awaken my soul to become fully aware of my past lives. Every Animancer tries and fails. It's practically a rite of passage. So, one evening, I crept into the workshop and cobbled an invention together from spare parts. Amateur work. Then I turned it on. Big mistake. The next thing I knew, it was morning. I was floating in the fountain, and my head was pounding like a drum.
You don't need animancy for that. Just rum and a crew on shore leave.
That answers a lot of questions, honestly.
Sometimes I wonder, what if it actually worked? What if all of this happened before, and I'm just reliving the events of a past life? I try not to think about it too much. A simple question with a very complicated answer. The device is attuned to the spiritual energy of the living lands, much like a compass to magnetic north. But essence is chaotic by nature. As you saw with your own eyes, imposing order on chaos is not without risk. Indeed. Don't get me wrong, this invention is a small miracle, but it isn't enough. The phantasmal focus was supposed to be the start of something grand, one lever of a device that exists only in theory. Perhaps it should remain that way. Anything in particular? What do you want to know? Until next time. I can't believe it. Ranger Dorso, a traitor to Fior Messiverno. Shame we had to kill her. But at least now she can't hurt anyone else. The damage is contained, more or less. Sounds like something Inquisitor Ludwig would say. And for once, she wouldn't be wrong. Still, it's a shame. Dorso gave up on the dream of Fior Messiverno. Blamed Animancers for the problems we tried to solve. And I hate to see anyone lose hope. That's all for now. Let me know if there's anything else. Thanks for talking. Between the two of us, thank you for helping Yatsli reach that vase. Maybe it seems like nothing to you, but to her it's everything. When you consider how many Orlans and dwarves there are, it's outrageous that we build so high off the ground. What a pain. Don't let her size fool you. On the inside, Yatsli stands as tall as a mountain. One of these days she's going to change the world, shake things up. And I'll be at her side, grinning like a fool. Anyway, thanks again. Not before I've done some reading.
Did they not glow in the light? Her parents, her sentinels. To grow and flourish still, life without rot, form without death. Is the mycelium monstrous? Fair or foul, it merely lives. Endless spring, they breathe, they flower, they will never fade. Apple into seed, we think not. They have blossomed now. They sing in peace. Was it not worth the change? Do we not? The bear would have spent its days in the wood. They are strong now, vibrant, better than their frail shells. Even the darkest evening clouds part with the morning mist. Sleep now, dream of beauty and new life. We will speak soon.